So today we will see how we can connect our uh, Selenium test case with the MySQL database. Okay. So before working with database, first we have to get that. So for the setup, come to Chrome. So this is the link to download MySQL. So let me paste it here. Okay. So here you will see two setups. So this is 405 MB and this is 2 MB, right? So we have to download this one. So you have to click on this download, and here you can see, just click this no thanks, just start my download. So it will download the setup for you, right? And so as of now I am not going to click it again, cancel, because I am already having this. So once it will download, so how you have to download, if I let me first get that PDF. So actually I am just looking for the file where I have kept all the how to install the MySQL. So I am not finding it as of now, but okay, so let us see from Google only. So how you can install that MySQL once this setup will download. So if you type here MySQL, so once I will find the file, I will share in the classroom. So here if I open any link, so this is not the one. Okay, so once you will launch the setup, okay, so this is the one you can refer from this website. So I think these two will not come. So when you will install that, directly you will start from here, right? So whatever the when you will install that for the first time, so I think by default this one will be selected by default. So do not change anything, right? In this page, when you will come to setup type, so I think by default developer default will be selected. Here they are selecting full, but whatever be the by default, just go with that and click on next. Okay, so do not change anything here, just click on next, and after that it will try to download some of the software. So again after that click on next, and once you will click, it will again wants to download some of the MySQL server like this, and you have to click on execute so that it will download all the softwares one by one. So after that it will download, right? One by one it will start to download, and once it will complete, you have to again click on next, and again click on next, and after that somewhere here it will ask you for one port number. So by default you will see this 3306 port number is present. So basically this port number will help you to connect to your database, right? So do not change anything, let it be 3306, right? So after that you have to click on next, and here it is important. So here you have to set one password, and once you will set the password, please remember the password, because if you forgot the password, then resetting it will be very difficult. So in that case you have to download that again. So whatever the password you will set, save it somewhere so that you can go through after that. So once you set the password, you have to click on next. So once you will click on next, go with the default one, click on next, and again you have to click on next, and again next you have to click. So again it is just installing the software. So, and once it will install, you have to click on finish. So I think this is some old version, right? So if I show you one, because some other things are missing in this, let me again download. Okay, so I will share you one file which I have created after the class. So as of now I am not finding it. So once you will install that, right? So what you have to do, just search here MySQL workbench, right? So here you can write all the SQL query. So once you will set up that, you will find this. So click on this, and from the Maven repository you have to get one dependency if you want to work with the database. So come to Maven repository and search here MySQL connector Java, right? So this dependency you would require so that you can work with database. So go with the latest one. So copy this, and here I have already created a project. So that is from the previous class. So here I have created one more package. Inside that there is one class, right? So paste the dependency in pom.xml so that you can get all the dependencies. So I have pasted that. So it is pasted and it will get the all the jar file. So now here, so it has opened, right? So this is the first look when you will get what you will get. So here you have to click on this. So here inside this workbench, when you will come, when you log into this, there are so many dummy database are present. So if I show you, click this. So when you will do it for the first time, it will ask you for the password which you have set in the setup part. So let me write the password, and after that I will click on OK. So inside this editor, there are so many database. So it will take some time. Okay, so it has end. So let us wait. Okay, so here this is the code I have written already. Not code, SQL query. So what I am saying here, if you see, when you will see it for the first time, you will not see these two one. Okay, some people are not able to join. Let me them. Okay, so one more thing. See, many people I have admitted now. So class time is from 8 a.m. right? So I am saying that once I am on this screen, sometimes I am not able to hear that someone wants to join. So every time, please make sure to join at least 5 minutes or on the correct time. Otherwise, I will not be able to hear the voice, and you will not be able to. I will not be able to admit you inside the class because I don't know when I am on this screen. Sometimes it will uh, not play the open pop-up sound right when someone wants to admit. So make sure to be on the time. So here we are discussing one database actually. If let me start. So how we can connect our database with MySQL. So this is the installation guide. If I how to install the database. So because some people are not able to join, so come to their official website. Okay, not this one. So here when you will come to this link, so I will paste the link here so everyone can copy the link from here. Okay, so when you will download the MySQL, you have to download this one. When you will download, this setup will open. So how to install this? I will share one PDF file in the classroom how you can install this. So there I have clearly told all the steps. So once you will install that, you have to search this MySQL Workbench. So when you click this, this will open, and it will ask you for the password. So give the password whatever you have given. So here these are the dummy database 1, 2, 3, and I think only 3 dummy database, and these I have created, right? So if you want to work with MySQL, work with the database, first you have to create one database and place some dummy data here, right? Then only you can work. So how you can do that? So first of all, if I want to create a database, so I can say uh, employee employee info. So in this database, suppose employee info. So this is my database name. So if you execute this query and click this, it will create one database here on the left hand side. So if I execute this, so if I refresh this, so this is the database employee info, right? So once this database you have created, so if you want to create one table inside a database, first you have to provide this command. So here I am saying that from all the database I want to use employee info database. So if you execute this query, now it is just like now we are working on this database. So inside the database I will create one table. So this is the syntax. Create is the right. So in the as it is a SQL, so I will write one SQL query. So I am saying create table. I want to create one login table, right? So inside my login table, one is username, column name is username, second is email, third is password, right? So these are the 3 things I have defined. You can write many fields as you want, and after that these are the you can say 20 is the maximum length, right? And this is the data type, variable character. So username can have variable characters as well, right? So these sorry, variables and the characters as well username can have. So this is what this data type is telling. and same for email and varchar, and this is the maximum length. So data type and the length of the data type it can hold, right? If you provide more than 22, it will throw the error when I will create the table. So first let me create the table. Select this and click on this. So it is, I think, created. Yeah, green tick, it has created the table. So inside the table, if I want to see all the data, so you can provide this command, select star. Star means every data. Select every data from the table and display. So if you see this, as of now you do not have any data, right? Because I have not inserted any data, so you are seeing empty table. So if you want to insert some data, how you can do? You can just invoke this. So this is basically saying insert some data into login table with the values this. So Sumit will be present in below username column. Email will be present below. Sorry, this will be present below this column, and this password will be present below this column, right? So if I execute this line, right, so it has inserted the data, and if I again select it, so you got this one, right? So as of now only one data, but if I select all the three at a time and click this, now it will insert all the data, right? So if I again do this, 1 2 3 4, right? So total 4 data we have in our database table. So till now it is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so one more thing, we are not going to see every SQL query here because it is not a database lecture, right? So database itself is a very big topic. So if you want to learn database separately, you can do that. But here we are going to see only that what is important from our point of view. So suppose this is the table suppose, and when you join some new company, so client has told you that this is the database I have given to you. So every data, whatever you want to get, do not hard code the data, get the data from here, right? So to do that, first we have to connect our database with the Selenium test case so that we can get this data. So how we can connect? So those who have joined late, uh, first you have to get one dependency, which is this one. So you have to type this, right? So when you will type this, you will land on this page. So get this dependency and place it here in your form.xml, right? So and place it here. So once you will save it, it will download all the jar file. And here I have created one package. Inside that, my database, right? My class. So inside this class, I will write the code so that I can connect to my database. Okay. So first of all, there is one class. First of all, we have to create one connection with our database. So this driver manager dot. So let me import the package. Okay, save it. Driver manager dot get. Okay, so here you have so many methods. You can use this get connection. So here it is asking you for one string, and let me define. Okay, so after that, what is this string? So this, if you write, it is like this. So provide double quotes, and inside your double quotes, we have to write, as we are working with JDBC, so Java database connectivity we are working. So this is basically a JDBC API. JDBC, right? So we are working with this. So we have to first tell I am using Java database connectivity, which is SQL. So we are working with MySQL database, so MySQL, right? So after that, you have to provide one colon, double slash, and after that, provide concatenation sign plus, and as we are working on our local machine, so that will be our localhost, right? Localhost means local machine. So this is our localhost. So this is one format you have to write. This is how it is expecting. So we are working on localhost, and after that you have to again provide plus sign, and after that provide colon in double quotes, and after that it will ask you for the port number that will help in connecting with our database. So if you remember, I told you that port number is by default when you will run the setup, it will ask you somewhere port number. So by default it will be set to 3306, so let it be 3306, right? And after that again provide the plus sign, and in the double quotes provide the database name. So what is your database name? If I say in the double quotes provide your database name, so first you have to provide one forward slash, and what is your database name? See, this is our database name. So I'm just telling that I have to work with this database, so I will provide here. After that paste the name, so this is our database name, and after that you have to provide your username and the password. So by default when you will run the setup, it will ask you for the username. If you do not set anything, by default it will be root. So this is our root, right? And after that it will be your, this is our username. So when I am logged in, if I show you, if I show you, uh, if I close this and if I open it again, and if I open this, so this is our username I'm writing in my query, in my SQL code. I'm writing this is my username, and whatever the password I will write here, that I will define here, so that it will be able to connect to this, right? So here this is our username, root is our username, and whatever the password I have written, you can say root 123 is my password, so you can set any password. And after that some errors are coming. If I remove this, provide single semicolon, so okay, so here as well you have to provide double quotes. I think that is correct. Okay, so that's it. So this is how you have to provide. And what I will do, instead of providing the localhost here, I will say one, I will create one variable equals to host. So you can write directly as well. So let me localhost in the sense our local machine. So as I am working on my local machine, okay, so here should be, and here I will write host. So that variable will come here when the program will run. As it is a string, so you do not have to provide double quotes now. And similarly, what is the port number? Default port number is in the double quotes, so 3306. So here I will write port, right? So this is my database name. So this you have to do. Once you will do this, it will return you one connection object that will help you in forming our connection. So I can define it as CONN. You can give any name. So what is the return type will be? You have to create the variable of type connection, because it will return you one connection object. So this is also a class. So import this. So we are working with java.sql, right? Not these two. So click this third one. So now you got the connection object. So first with the help of this connection object, we will create one statement. So how you can create one statement? So let us see, connection dot create this one. So if I click this, what is this statement? And when you will call this method with the help of this object, this will return you one statement object. So let me say s equals to this, and as it will return me one statement object, I will capture that in one statement variable. And so I will put semicolon, import the package. So here we are working with java.sql, so click this. So if you see, it is basically creating a statement object for sending the SQL statement. So what is this SQL statement? SQL statement in the sense, if you see here, when I am coming to my database, if I want to get all the data, so this is one SQL statement, and if I execute this, this will, okay, so first you have to select this, right? So into this database, if I execute this SQL statement, so this is a SQL statement. If I click this, right, so it will select all the data. So here as well, if I come here, so as this is a SQL statement, so providing this SQL statement in my code here, so this will help us to provide this SQL statement, because once I will provide that SQL statement here, so it will get all the data, right? So once you have to first create the statement for that. So this is our statement object, so that we can send our statement, and this statement object will give you one more method, which is, if I say s dot execute query, and here you have to provide your SQL statement, which is nothing but this one. So if I copy this line, if I copy this, so here I have to pass. So once after creating the create statement object, this object will have one method which is execute query, and here you have to pass your query. So this will select all the data from the table. So remove the semicolon, not required, and after that put semicolon at the end. So once this line will execute, it will get all the data. So you have to catch that in one variable. So if I write rs equals to this, you can give any name. What should be the return type? Right, so basically what in what format it will return the data, you have to catch that in that type of variable only, right? So if it will if this method will return the data in the form of a string, so you have to write a string here, but let us see what data type it will return. So basically the return type is this, right? So you can see it will execute the given SQL statement. First it will execute this line, which returns a single result set object. So the return type is this, and if I write this return type here and import the package, so java.sql, right? So once it will return with the object, you can see it is returning a result set object. So I am catching that object in this variable, right? So this object will have all the data. So if you want to, so first let us see till this part by running the program whether we are not getting any errors. So then we will see forward. So if I run this, if you get any error, which means there is some issue. So as of now it will not print anything. So program is terminated, which means no error coming in till this part, right? So I want to get the data from here. So first of all, tell me till this part it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So my data is present here. I want to get all the data from this object. So we have to, if I use while loop, because I have many data, and what is this? If I say rs.next, so let me tell you in debug mode how this rs.next is working. In a short while I will tell. So if you want to get this username, basically this will have the username. If I talk about this row, this data username, right? So how it will get you, if I write rs dot get string, and here you can either provide column index or you can say username. So if I write username, so make sure the column name will be same. It is uppercase. I think here as well it is uppercase. So if I want to get the username, once I will get it, I will write string user name. So you can give any name. So here you will have username, and after that I will print this and string password equals to rs dot get password. Sorry, rs dot. Here you can also provide index 0, 1, 2, or as it is our second column, which is you can see it is email, right? So I will write email here, and once it will provide the email, I will say string. Third one is, sorry, here it is email. So if I write email, and third one is password. Okay, third one is password, and I will say rs dot get string password. So here this is our column name. Make sure the column name is correct. Should be matching with this one, right? So if I show you in debug mode, let me also copy this and print the email. And if I write password, right? So if I debug this program, so put one debugger here. So once this we execute this line with the help of this method execute query, all the data will come here, right? Why all the data? So you do not have to worry in which format the data is coming. Just understand that all the data will come by executing this query, right? So that data will come here. So what is that data? Select star from login. So all the four data 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So every row data will come to this object, rs object. So if you want to get first data, so what is this rs dot next? So that basically the rs dot next will move the rs object to your first data. So it will move to the first row, whatever the data it has got. So basically this rs will get some 4 data, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4 rows. So this will move rs to first object, sorry, first row. So suppose this is the first data in this manner he will got. So here rs is now pointing to our first row. So when I will say dot get username, so it will give me Sumit, and when I will say get email, it will give me this one, and when I will say password, this will grab this one, right? So this is how it will. So once rs dot next is condition true, because you are able to get to a particular row. So now we will come inside, right? So get string username. So first of all it will give me Sumit. Now email is this, and the third one is password, right? So first it has printed. Now when this rs dot next will execute again, so this will simply move rs to second data. So rs now is pointing to our second data, right? So here as well it will return true, because you are able to get to a particular row, so it will return you true. So it will also return you true and also move to the second row. So now rs is to your second row, right? So condition true, we will come inside, Now if you see what is the second row data, it is Ankit, right? So it should print Ankit, after that Ankit email, and third is password of Ankit, right? And similar way, uh, when it will, this condition will execute again. So again, now what we have to do, this rs.next will move rs to your third row, and once it will move the rs to your third row, it will return true because you are able to move to a particular row, which means condition true. So it will grab with this data first, Pankaj. If I debug this again, first of all it will give me Pankaj. You can see in the output Pankaj email, Pankaj password, right? And final time again condition true because one data is present. So now rs is pointing to last data which rs have. So this time it will return the whatever be the username, Vandan email, and the password, right? So but after that, when this condition will execute again, then rs will be moved to some other row, but after this row you do not have any more rows present. So now rs will not be able to move to other row, to next row, because you do not have any more data. So this will return false, as while of false is false. So now this will come out of, we will come out of our while loop. So if I execute this, it will simply move out of our, we will simply come out of our while loop and our program will terminate. So this is how you can get all the data. So if I just do some modification so that data will look little bit clean, username, and let me not change the line here, and third one is password. So if I run this time, you data, whatever the data we got will look little bit clean, right? So you can see how the data it has printed. So this is how you can see we are able to print the data. So once we got the data, we can use it in our you can say test cases as well. So this part is clear to everyone.
Sir,
But every time I do not want to get this whole data, right? Every time I do not want to get the data of all user. Suppose I want to get the data of this person only. How we can do? So if I write one query here, if I select this, it will give me all the data. You can see, right? But if I want to get only 1% data, suppose which is Ankit. So what is the SQL query you have to write? You have to write select star from login where user. So this is our column name equals to, what is the username? It is suppose Ankit. So now this will give you all the data, but only of the particular person Ankit. So if I just execute this, let us see what is the output. So now you can see Ankit, the data came, right? So I will copy this query. I will copy this query and place it here. So instead of this one, I will remove this. Now I will paste this and remove the semicolon from here and put double quotes as well. Put double quotes here, right? So if I now run this, let us see whether we are getting only Ankit data or not. So this time you should have only one row data and Ankit data should be printed, right? So only Ankit data came. Likewise, if I change the, you can also use password as, sorry, you can also use email as well, where email equals to, if I copy this email, if I copy this email, I can say also like this, where email equals to, email equals to this one. So one single quote before and after the email value, and if I run this should also give me Ankit the data, right? So you can use any of the column as you want. So similarly, if I write suppose Pankaj in this, so this is basically you have to write Pankaj. If I write Pankaj only, so it will get all the data, but only of the user Pankaj. So now Pankaj data will be printed. So now you got the Pankaj data, right? So suppose if you want to now use it in your test case, how you can do? So that is very simple. If I create one web driver manager.chrome driver. So this we have already seen what is this part. So this will help you to manage your Chrome driver.exe file dot setup. So now this is the Chrome driver, and after that I can simply say web driver. So you can do that in other class as well. So that will be an assignment. So you have to create one separate class so that you can get the uh, all the data, and there you can do. So as of now, let me do it here only. Chrome driver. So now Chrome driver will be invoked. So import the package and go to Chrome driver. So if I open one website which is Amazon. So basically we are getting all the data from our Amazon website, sorry, from the database. So if I want to enter the email, so copy the link and if I after that once I will get the data, I will write driver.get. Now this is the link, right? And after that, if you see I want to enter one email, I want to work with one user Pankaj, so I will send the Pankaj email. So first let me get the locator, control F, input @type equals to this, right? So copy this XPath, it is unique XPath. So driver dot find element 5 dot XPath, this is our XPath, and if I say send keys dot send keys, here what you have to pass, you have to pass this value, which is I want to enter the email of Pankaj. So here I have provided the query. Now email is present here, so let me create this variable outside, otherwise we will not be able to use this outside of our while loop, because as it is a local variable. So now you can use this email. So once email will be set, I will write email, right? So still we are not able to use. Save that. Okay, so here as you are using local variables, so you have to get initialize it first. So if I say empty, right? So now whatever the email you will get, that email will come from this to this variable, and now as I am passing this variable here, so this will send the email. So if I just run this, so it will open the Chrome browser. So you can see whatever the person email is coming, that is coming from the database, and this time we are not hard coding the data, right? So this is how we can. And suppose the client will change this value. As of now I have created the database, but in the company client will provide you the database, right? So suppose uh, client changed this person email to some other email. Some other email client has changed. So every time as I'm using this, you are going to get the updated data, and whatever the updated value that will come here, right? So you do not have to worry that what is the data that will change every time. You will going to get updated value from the client database. So this is how you can connect your database with Selenium. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, cleared.
Okay. So who wants to join? So I will provide this code after the class. So let us discuss one small topic. So this we have done. So let me create one topic which is right click. So let me create here only. Reading the data from Excel. So sometimes instead of database, some companies put the data in Excel sheet, and from there you can also get the data. So if I okay, so if you want to work with Excel, basically if I show you, this is the Excel I have created. So this is one dummy Excel, right? So Excel sheet name is right sheet. This is our Excel name, and here you have so many sheets. So this is employee information, login detail, and these are some, they do not have any data, right? So suppose I want to get the all the employee data from this. So you can create any fields. So this is just a dummy data. I want to get all the data so that I can use it in my test case. How we can do that? So basically you have to get two dependency from the Maven. Then only you can work with all the classes of Excel, right? So if I come to Maven repository, and if I click this, here you have to type first POI, this one. So this is one provided by the Apache. So this is this dependency you have to get. So if you search it, once you will search it, you will get this. So you can see first you have to get this one and this one. These two will help you to work with Excel. So if I open first one, open in new tab, and this also I will open in new tab. And here you can go with the latest version. So here if I click this, it is POI, right? You can see here POI. So I will copy this and place it in my project object model file so that it will download all the jar file, all the files which are required to work with Excel. So if I paste it here, and the second one is this one. So if I click this, it is POIOO XML. So you have to also get this. So here I will paste second one, and after that I will save the project. So error should not be present. So if I save it, it is started to download all the files. Actually, it will first search in my local machine. If the jar files are already present, then it will not download it again. So still we are getting the error. So I think I am already having this also. Let me check first. So let me do one thing, update my project. So might be that is the reason. So click on Maven, click on update the project, and after that click on OK. So it will update your project and error should not be present now. So if I remove this, and if I also remove this, it's still there. I think earlier error was not coming. So let me undo all the operations which I have done here. Okay, so I think this is causing the error. Okay, so I don't know what is the issue somehow. So let me paste all the dependency again. So I will again copy this, these two, paste this, and the second one is copy this, also paste this.
You were already there.
It's
You are pasting
already
some.
there.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for reminding. So let me not import it again. Now if I save it, now here error came. So again error come. So let us create new project instead of wasting the time here. I will check it later what is the issue. So here also you can create one Maven project again, and click on next Maven. So there are so many templates. I will select this one. So you can give any name. So let me remove this all. It is not required. Here I will paste the dependency. So I will copy from this first one. This is the first one. Then second is this one. Save it. Okay, no errors this time. Okay, so again one error. Okay, so no error this time. So we are working with Excel. So inside this one, I will create new class, Excel reading. So you can delete this first one. It is not required. So I will delete this. And here I will create one main method so that we can run our. You can also use test-ng. So from the next week. So I think Friday will be New Year. So Friday will be holiday, and from that after that we will start test-ng from scratch. So as of now, let us go with public static void main. So I think we got both the dependency. So we got POI as well as POI OO right? So basically, if you want to work with Excel, first you have to know. First you have to create one object of this class. So why we will create? Let us see. File input stream equals to new. So this is a Java class. It has nothing to do with Excel. So this input stream, let me. Okay. So basically, first of all, I have to tell where my this Excel sheet is present. So where it is present, if I come to my desktop, so let me copy this path. So this is the if I click on property, this is the path where my Excel sheet is present. So I will copy this path and I will place the path here. Okay, so after that, write the Excel sheet file name as well. So I think this is write sheet dot xlxx is the format. So I will write sheet. So make sure all the capital letters also matter. So I think it is small s, and write the extension. So it is of type XLSX, right? So how I know? Because when I come to property, the format is this one. This is the right. So I'm writing this also. Type, it is the type of the file. So it will ask you to click add throws declaration. So basically, if somehow you have given the wrong name, somehow I have given the wrong name, so it will throw one exception that file not found, right? So this is the reason I'm sending this. So we have given this. So now what is this? File input stream obtains the input from a file. Basically it is for reading the file, right? So now I have given this file, and once I will create the object of this class, now this object will know where this file is located, right? So here the file is located, and if I want to work with Excel, so I have to create one class which is XSFF workbook. So this is the class equals to, I will create the object of this class. So this is basically for working with Excel sheet, and import the package. So only one is coming, so like this, and here you have to pass this object. If I pass this object here, again add throws declaration. Okay, so now what is happening here? First of all, I'm giving this file, object of this file. This object knows where the file is located in my machine, in my local machine. So this object has the knowledge, and this class is basically for working with Excel sheet. So I've created the object of this class. This is the object, and if I pass this FIS object here, now this object also knows where this file is present, and it can perform all the operation, right? Because this object knows where my file is present due to this. And when I will pass this object here, so now this object also knows where your file is located, and whatever operation you want to do with Excel, this object will now help you because it knows where the file is located, and it will also have some methods from this class as I've created the object. So first of all, the very first method you have to write is XSSF dot get sheet. So here, okay, so let me write again. So here, if you see, what is this get sheet name? This is one sheet, this is second, third, fourth. Likewise, there may be many sheets, hundreds of sheets. So first of all, I have to come to the particular sheet, then only I can get the data. So this is my sheet name. So if I copy this, I am saying when you will come to Excel, first get me this sheet because I have to get the data from here. So I will paste the sheet name, right? So you got this first sheet, and I will catch that in one variable. And what is the return type? This is the return type, which means it will return you this XSSF sheet. So create one variable of the type, this one, then only you can catch that in one variable. So import this. Now this sheet, this variable will have this sheet. This variable will have our first sheet. So if you want to go to this one directly, you can give this. Otherwise, you have to. We are working on this, so I will give this. Okay. So now I am on this employee info. In this variable is pointing to employee info sheet. So if I want to get the total number of rows, I will say int. First, I will count the total number of rows. My sheet is F, so I can write that sheet dot get. So many methods get last row number. So if I execute this, let us see what is the output we will get. If I just execute this row count, run this. So total how many rows in which we are having the data, right? So this is important. So it will not going to count all the rows, right? So it will only count the rows which you are having the data. So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 rows we are having, right? Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 outputs we should get. So as of now you are getting 5 because how it is counting? It is counting like this. It is counting like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Likewise, if I add one more, suppose if I write TP06, some dummy name and some dummy designation, save it. This time, what is the output we should get? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I run this again, this time you should get 6. So this is how it is counting. So we have to take care of that. So total 6 we should get this time. Right? So this part is clear to everyone how it is counting the row?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I also want to count the total number of columns. So total number of columns are, if you see, if I talk about any of the row, this one, I will say 1, 2, 3, right? So total 3 columns we are having. So there is no direct method to count the column. So first of all, if I say sheet dot get row, so if I say 0, now if I say from the sheet get me this row number 0, so now we will come here, right? So once I will come here, so let me first catch that in one variable. So as it will give me one row, the return type is, you can either use this one, or let me write it this as well. You can also write this one, row row. Now this variable, so import the package. So now this variable, so this is basically an interface. So I am creating the object variable of type interface, and whatever the row, it will give me that. Now this row variable will going to point to our first row, right? And similarly, if I give row1, now this row variable will start to point to our second row. So 0, 1, so 0 and 1, right? Likewise, you can give row number 2, so 0, 1, 2, so it will point, right? So you can take any row, because all we're going to have the same column. So I can give row 0 as well. You can give any out of 6 row, you can give any row, right? So now here, this will going to give you one method, which is row dot get last cell number. So this will return you total number of column. You can say, if I say int column count, you can give any name, and I will print that. So columns, I will print that simply. So if I run this, let us see how it is counting the columns. So run as Java application. So columns are 3. So how it is counting? It is counting like this: 1, 2, 3, right? If I suppose provide 2 more, save the file. So this time, what is the output it will give me? I am talking about row number 0. So 0, it is start from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I print this time, total your 5 columns. Right, so columns are 5. So this is how it is counting. So row, it is counting from 0, but when it comes to column, it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this part is clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so once we get the rows, total number of rows and total number of columns, so to print the data, if I suppose I want to print one data, which is string, if I take one snapshot of that, this one, so we can understand better how we can write our logic from this table. If I take the snapshot, so basically, if you see, this is at 0, 1, 2, right? But it is giving the column, that is okay. One column, it will count like this: 1, 2, 3. But to print the data, we have to start like this. So suppose 0, 0, 1, 2, and it is also, if I write 0, 1, 2, it is 3, it is 3, and after that it is 4, and 5 and 6, right? So likewise, you can have many number of data. Okay, so this is 6, last one. So if you want to get this data, I want to print this employee ID. So what is the index you have to give? You have to give 0, 0, right? If you want to count this one, it is 0, 1, it is 0, 2. Likewise, if I talk about this one, it is 1, 0, it is 1, 1, it is 1, 2. Likewise, we have to do. Suppose if I want to print only this 0, 0, which is employee ID, how we can do? So there is one simple line which is you have to write. So I will write a string data equals to, so this sheet variable basically have your employee info. So with the help of this object only, I will call some method which is first of all get me the row. So I am working with first row number 0, right? So I am going to first get this row row0, right? And once I will get the row, I will call one more method which is get cell of 0. So basically I am saying get me 0 and 0. So it will give you this first column, which is this one. This data it will give, right? And after that I will call one more method which means get me the actual value. So get string cell value. So that will give you the value and you can catch it here. So if I write it and if I print this data and if I invoke it, run as Java. So this time employee ID should be printed, right? So it has printed employee ID. So this is coming from the previous one. And similarly, if I want to print this data, suppose this designation. So what is the index? 0, 0, 2, 0 and 2. So if you want to write, if I write 2 here, so it will print designation. Right, so it has printed designation this time. But if you want to print all the data, you do not have to write this line 6 times or 7 times, right? Because you can have hundreds of data here, hundreds of data. So if you, what we can do, we can use one for loop so that it can print all the data. So if I execute it from 0, I will write row count so that this for loop will run total number of rows it will run. And I will say plus plus I. So you can also use 2 for loop if I talk about here, but let me use only one as of now. So basically this first for loop, if I write integer, this for loop I will write I here, right? And suppose if I write 0 here, how it will go? This will keep on incrementing. So first is 0 0, then after that if I write it is I value will become 1 1 0 2 0 3 0 4 0 5 0 6 0, right? So how it will print? It will simply print this data. So 0 0 1 0 2 0 3 0 4 0 5 0 and 6 0, right? So if I invoke this get row of I, so if I run this, it will print the first column data, but I want all the columns. So right, so this is how it is printed, right? So if I write one more for loop, suppose if I write one more for loop for integer j equals to 0, j less than equals to, now what is the total number of column you are having? So total is 3. So let me write 3 here and I will increment the I. So basically this for loop will run for 3 times. So if I write j here, right? So if I put one brace here and close it, error gone.
In this, in the setup, you have to give J, like J plus plus.
Okay, yeah, j plus plus, otherwise it will give some random data. So now if you see how it will work, first of all I value will be 0. So when I value will be 0, we will come inside. Now j value is also 0. So now I value is 0, j value is also 0, right? So this for loop first run 3 times, then only we will again execute this one, right? So how it will work? First of all j value equals to 0, then 1, then 2, right? And then condition fail. Now second time I value will be 1, then it will be again start from 1 0 1 1 1 2, right? So this is how it will work. So it should print the data in this fashion. First it will print this and then this and then this, right? So let us first see if I just execute this data like this.
No, you haven't changed IJ.
Okay, so let me write ij. If I write ij, and let me not change the line here, I will change after that, so that after every row only the line will change, not every data. So if I so we got but some space missing, so put some space. Right, so employee ID in the first one, second employee name, so you can also provide some more space. Right, so now this time some neat output, so employee ID, employee name and designation, right? So if you are able to get the data, right, so now once you get the data you can also use it in your, you can say, so in your test case, right? So you can do that, I think. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
So that will
Yes,
be one
sir.
assignment. So you can try writing email here. Email, this is the email field. Provide one email and try to get the email into Amazon website, which we have done with the database. So now this is how you can read the data if you have in your Excel. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just suppose, so let us see last one, which is if I want to write some data. So basically we are not going to write, we are most of the times we are going to read the data, but suppose if I want to write the data as well, I will copy this. If I want to write the data in our Excel, how we can do that? Well, let me do it here as well. So if you want to write the data, suppose I want to write the data here. I want to write one data here. So this is index number 3. I have to write some data here. So what is this? It is in 03. It is 0, comma 3, right? So this is like this. So how we can write? We can do like this. So let me do one thing. Instead of you can also write this. If I write file, new file, and if I copy this from here and I will paste it here. So you can also do like this. So first you will create the class file object. First to create the class file object, place the file path here, and you can say file path, import the package, it is file. So once you import the package, so now you can also place this object here, so that will work in the same way. So as we have to now work with output, work with writing the Excel. So there is one more which is called one more class for writing. You have to import, create the object of other class, file output stream. So this is our second class which we have to create if you want to write some data. For reading this will do the work. For writing the some of the data you have to use this, otherwise you cannot do that without this. And here as well, so import the first package. So here you have to this path, pass this path as well, so that it will know where this file is located, and then it will rewrite the data, right? So suppose after reading, so this will do this reading part, and after that, so this is I think outer for loop. So if you want to write some data, so first of all you can get the sheet from here as well. So sheet we got, and after that if I write sheet, or let me write here, you can also write here as well, after this sheet, or let me write at the end. So from for sheet dot, first you have to get the row, which row you want to write the data. I want to write the data in our first row, right? So first I will get this first row. This is our first row, which means at 0 index. And after, once I will get the row, I will say dot create. First, if you want to write the data, you have to call this method get row dot, this one, create cell. So here you have to provide the column index. So if you see what is our column index, it is 3, right? Column index is 3. Here I want to write the data, so I will create the cell. Now once I have created the cell, I will say dot set cell value. So here you can provide your value. Suppose I want to set email. I want to create one more column which is having the name as email. So this will simply go to your row number 0, column index 3, and it will write email here, right? When I will call this. So once you will call this method, you have to first, and after that what you have to do, let me do one thing. Instead of creating this here, you can also create on the top, but we are not able to see that file output stream, so I will creating here. So you have to also create the object. Once you have finished writing, what you have to do, if I talk about this one, this object have one method. This object have one method. This object have one method which is write. So, and when I'm calling this write, it is expecting one output stream object. So this is output stream object FOS, right? So if I call this method dot write, so this you have to write object here, then it will do that one. So if I, after that, it is better to close. Closing in the sense I am closing my Excel sheet. Dot close. Dot close. Now, which means you have to close everything at the end. So if I just run this program, so as we are working with writing the data, I have to close this Excel, otherwise my code will fail. So I will close this sheet. I will open once my code finished execution. As of now, no email is present, but once I will, if you see this, so for writing the data to the file, you can use output stream, right? Clearly it is written. So for writing the output stream, for writing the data to a file, you can use this, right? So this is the reason I've created the object, and now I am passing this object here. So now this, because this will have my Excel sheet, I have created here this is the main that is going to get my whole Excel sheet, right? So I will pass my output stream object, and if I run this, so first it has printed, after that program is terminated, which means we are not getting any error. And if I open this, you got this email, right? So this is how you can use for loop if you want to write some data. So basically we will be dealing with this only most of the times, but if you also want to write some data, you can use this way. So now you can use one for loop if you want to provide multiple value at a time, right? Suppose if I write password, so basically this is updation operation. So this set cell value automatically update the value as well. As of now, email is present, right? If I close this and if I run it again, so this is called, you can say it as a updation operation if you want to update from this code your Excel sheet. And first it will print the data, and after that it will terminate. Program terminated. If I open this, This time it has updated the email to password, right? So you can see password came. So this is how you can do reading, updation, reading the operation as well. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will share this code after the class. So that's all for today in this session. So we'll see you on Monday, next Monday.
And Sumit, the
Thank you,
Monday class
sir.
also is available, the video link.
Which link?
Monday's class, Maven.
I think
Mondays.
every video is present.
Today also, sir. So I'm seeing the remaining one, but I can't see the last one.
Is it for everyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So it means you are doing something wrong. Please check correctly. Every video is present.
Okay, and one more thing, are you able to give the one more related to the API Postman?
Sorry?
With the so we are doing with the MySQL and Excel sheet, right? So like that, can we have to one class for the API calls, get the call and
API
post.
call is different. As of now we have not planned. If I plan, I will let you know.
I am also wanted to join that. Hello.
Yeah, as of now we are planning, but not set the date. So once we will start. We will let you know.
Okay.
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 Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.